Well, welcome to another part in our city support series, and today we're going to be talking about waiting. This time of the year is often a time when we take time to slow down, to refuel, to reset, to consider 2022. But as we do that, we often think about unmet goals and unmet dreams from 2021 or maybe even years before that. And waiting can be really hard. And so, Kate, I wonder what you might have to say to people who have found themselves waiting either for a short period of time, but too long for them, or even a long period of time.
Yeah.
How would you encourage them?
Yeah. Well, waiting can be a tough thing for anyone. It can cause a sense of pain. It can cause sadness, and sometimes even despondency if you feel like you've been waiting for a very long time. So waiting for a short period might be a bit easier, even if it's frustrating. But waiting for something that you've been expecting for a long time can be a lot more difficult. And we see in Scripture that this is something that many people wrestled with. How long is actually one of the most frequently asked questions in the Bible. I found that out the other day. And I read in Psalm 13 and verses 1 to 2, David saying, "How long, O Lord, will you forget me forever? How long will you hide your face from me? How long must I take counsel in my soul and have sorrow in my heart all day? How long shall my enemy be exalted over me?" And so that just points to the fact that it's such a real thing people go through. And what really struck me in this is that it's not just about waiting for the promises of God over your life. So things like waiting for marriage or waiting for a job or a child, or house or whatever it is. We also see in this psalm that it's a sense of waiting for your grief to be over. And that's a big one right now, since we even mentioned a little bit last week how so many people have experienced significant loss. And that's part of our lives, but it's been intensified during this pandemic. And so waiting for your grief to be over and thinking, how long am I going to suffer for in this, is a big deal.
Yeah.
But what we see in this psalm is that it's okay to ask God that question and that He is always there to respond to it. And we might not have all the answers. He might not give us all the answers when we ask that question, and he hardly ever gives a timeline. But what it does is when we lay ourselves at the feet of Jesus and asking these questions and expressing our emotions towards Him, is that it reminds us of the character of God and reassures us of His love and that He does deliver. Because towards the end, David says, "But I have trusted in your steadfast love. My heart shall rejoice in your salvation, and I will sing to the Lord because He has dealt bountifully with me." So in the waiting, it's reminding Him that God is there and God will deliver ultimately. This doesn't necessarily mean that in an instant you're going to feel all right, but it does mean that the two can be juxtaposed and He is with you in that situation.